Sound design. Slow heartbeat, slight static, the sound of someone breathing barely. Most people think stalkers are just in movies. A twist in a thriller. A character in the shadows. But in real life, stalking doesn't look like that. It's slower, quieter, and way more common than we'd like to admit. It's not always someone hiding in your closet or peeking through your window. Sometimes, it's the neighbor who always seems to be outside when you are. A coworker who somehow knows your lunch break. Or a stranger online who keeps coming back, no matter how many times you block them. And when things turn dangerous, it's not with loud bangs or sudden scares. It's with silence, with odd messages, missing mail, and a face in the crowd you start seeing too often. The stories you're about to hear are all true. They happen to real people, not stalked by someone in a mask, but by people they knew, people they trusted, or worse, people they never even saw. So before we begin, lock your doors, check your windows, and pay attention, because some of the scariest stories out there aren't just stories, they're real. This happened to Jessica in 2021. She was 26, living alone for the first time in a small apartment near her university. She had just started a new routine: morning runs. Every day at 6 a.m. Same trail, same path, same time. It made her feel good, in control, like she was doing something right with her life. Jessica, voiceover. I liked the quiet. It was peaceful, you know? Just me, the sunrise, and the sound of my feet hitting the pavement. The first time she saw the man, he was stretching by the trees near the start of her route. Gray hoodie, black joggers, head down. She barely noticed him. But then he was there again the next day. And the day after that. And again. And again. Jessica. At first, I just brushed it off. Thought, okay, maybe he runs here too. But after a couple of weeks, it really started to feel like he was waiting for me. They never talked. Not once. But she could feel his eyes on her. Every time she started running, he'd start too. If she slowed down, he'd slow down. If she stopped, he stopped. One morning, she decided to try something different. She changed her route, took a turn that passed a coffee shop and looped through a residential neighborhood. And he followed. Not right behind her, but close enough. Too close to be a coincidence. Jessica. That's when I knew. I wasn't overthinking it. He was following me, watching me. After that, she stopped running altogether. Started taking the bus to work instead of walking. Changed her routine completely. Weeks went by. She didn't see him again. And then one night she got home late. The hallway in her building was quiet. She was unlocking her door when she felt something behind her. Jessica. I felt breath, right on the back of my neck. And then a voice, low, almost like a whisper. You run slower than I thought. She spun around. No one was there. Just the hallway. Silent. Still. She barely slept that night. The next morning, she found something on the floor outside her door. A folded piece of paper. Plain white. No envelope. Inside just 5 words. See you tomorrow. Jessica. That was it. That was the moment everything changed. It wasn't just a weird guy anymore. He knew where I lived. He followed me all the way home. She called the police. Filed a report. They checked the building. Searched the area. But there were no cameras. No footage. No one had seen anything. She packed her things and moved back in with her parents that same weekend. She never saw him again. But she still runs. Only now it's during the day. In public parks. When it's busy. And never ever by herself. Jake was a Twitch streamer. Nothing huge, just games, a few regulars in the chat, and a laid-back vibe. He was 19. Streaming was just something he did for fun. To relax, connect, and share what he loved. It started with a viewer named Lark_7. They showed up in every stream. Always said nice things. Always donated small amounts. At first, Jake thought it was cool. Jake, voiceover. They seemed chill. Asked random stuff like, what's your favorite food? Or, where did you grow up? Felt harmless. But then, Lark started messaging him privately. A lot. Every day. At first, Jake responded he didn't want to be rude. But something started to feel off. Lark_7 started mentioning things Jake never said on stream, like what time he left for class, or who he followed on Instagram, even who he was sitting with in the cafeteria. Then one message made everything stop. "I liked the blue shirt you wore to class today." Jake froze. He had worn a blue shirt, but he hadn't posted it. He hadn't streamed. He hadn't told anyone. Jake. That's when I realized this person wasn't just online. They were watching me. In real life. He blocked Lark_7. Locked down all his accounts. Changed his privacy settings. But the messages didn't stop. New accounts. Different usernames. Same kind of messages. Same creepy vibe. Then came the message that really got to him. He was live streaming a game when a donation popped up on screen. "Why don't you wave to me? I'm outside." Jake tried to laugh it off for the chat. Tried to pretend it was just a joke. But his hands were shaking. He ended the stream early. Closed the blinds. Walked slowly to the window. And there it was. Car parked across the street. Running. Lights off. Jake. I didn't know what to do. I felt crazy even thinking about calling the cops. Like, what do I say? Someone's sitting in their car? But I couldn't shake it. He called anyway. By the time the police arrived, the car was gone. Jake didn't feel safe. So he left. He moved in with his cousin across town. Changed schools. Took a break from Twitch. And for a while, things were quiet. Until 6 months later, a package showed up at his cousin's house. No return address. Inside was a flash drive. Just one file. A video. It was grainy, shot from outside a window. Jake's window. In the video, he was sitting at his desk, playing a game, wearing the same blue shirt, smiling, laughing, completely unaware. Jake. That was it. I deleted everything. Twitch, Instagram, Discord, even my backup drives. I changed my number, changed my name online, started completely over. He hasn't streamed since. And now, every night before bed, he checks the blinds and keeps a baseball bat next to his window, just in case. This story is from Maria. She was 32 when it happened, newly divorced, living alone again, just trying to find her balance. She joined a local women's hiking group to meet people, get outside, feel normal again. That's where she met Angela. Angela was smart, funny, a little intense, but in a way that felt passionate, not scary. They clicked instantly. Coffee dates turned into weekend hikes, then movie nights, then late-night calls that stretched past midnight. Angela called her soul twin, said they were meant to find each other. Maria thought it was sweet. Maria, voiceover. I was in a rough place, and she made me feel seen, like I mattered again. But things changed, fast. Angela started showing up places uninvited. To Maria's job, to her apartment. She'd say stuff like, "I just missed you," or "I knew you were having a hard day." The thing was, Maria hadn't told her she was struggling, hadn't posted anything, hadn't even shared where she worked. "Maria," I asked her, straight up, "how do you even know where I work?" And she just smiled, said, "I pay attention," like it was totally normal. Then came the breaking point. Maria had a long day, got home late. Her apartment door was unlocked. She lived alone. She always locked it. Always. Inside, the lights were off. But music was playing softly. Angela's playlist. And in the kitchen, a single cupcake. One candle. A handwritten note. "Happy friendiversary. 1 year since we met." Maria hadn't even remembered the date. Maria. That was what terrified me most. Not the cupcake. Not the music, but the fact that she had been inside. And that, somehow, she thought it was okay. She called the police, filed a report. Angela denied everything. There was no proof, no signs of forced entry, no cameras, no charges. So Maria packed up and left, found a new job, a new apartment, a new city. She thought it was over. But every year on that same day, a letter shows up. No name, no return address, just 3 handwritten words. "I miss us." Refined version approximate 440 words. Sound design. Slow ticking clock. Distant footsteps. A faint phone vibrating. Unanswered. Narrator softly. Not all horror wears a mask. Sometimes it looks like friendship, or kindness, or love. Sometimes it sits quietly in a car across the street, in a comment under your post, in a face you let in too fast. Stalking doesn't always start with threats. It starts with patterns, with obsession dressed up as care, with attention that feels flattering, until it feels wrong. And the scariest part is hard to prove, hard to explain, hard to stop, especially when they haven't technically broken the law. But these stories, they're real, and they're warnings. If something feels off, trust that feeling. Change your routine. Tell someone. Report it even if it feels small. Because stalking isn't about romance. It's not a misunderstanding. It's a violation. And the longer it's ignored, the closer it gets. Pause. Faint static hum builds in the background. If you've ever felt watched when no one's there, if you've gotten that cold prickle, like someone knows more than they should, you're not paranoid. You're aware. And awareness might be the one thing that keeps you safe. Screen fades to black. Text on screen. If you or someone you know is being stalked, contact your local authorities or the National Stalking Helpline in your country. Final line, narrator, whisper soft. Some people don't stop watching, even when you close your eyes.